Heroes Reborn though?
No,
Yeah.
I refused.
Did any of us see what Heroes Reborn?
No. I mean, I don't think I know I didn't.
No.
That's
Well,
the one with,
Brian
like, a new
Fuller
cast,
didn't
right?
work on it, so
Well, you know when to step out.
Immediate out.
Is that had a whole new cast, right?
Horn-rimmed
No,
Glasses
no.
is back.
There's
Horn-rimmed.
there's a fair amount of like maybe half the cast came back.
Oh, really?
yeah.
It's the
But-
ones that you would think would come back.
It was the Jack Coleman show, though, mainly, as far as I read about it at the time.
I mean, he's like the main guy on the poster. It's like, yeah.
Which, to me, it was like, what does he have left to do without his daughter in the show?
Oh, got it. It's also
I kind of hope every episode it starts with him on the phone with her. Yep.
It's
No,
also-
that's going well. Bye.
it's also got Zachary Levi for some damn reason. Ugh. Okay, so
Well, they needed a Zachary to fill the spot.
They tried to call Zachary Quinto, found the wrong number, and here we are.
he wouldn't answer the phone.
Yeah.
We'll get another Zachary on the phone.
He's like, I've done Star Trek now, right? Like, I don't have to take this phone call.
Exactly. Come on.
Zachary's like, well, Chuck's
For old
dancing,
time's
get me
sake.
on here.
I mean, we can't pay you the same amount, but come on.
Best of luck to you. I hope you get Heroes syndicated. I could use a check.
Wait, there's
You
a
wish you were on this season.
Yeah, right.
I was okay, so I'm looking at the list on IMDb, and I'm like, oh, this person vaguely looks like Hayden Panettiere. It's not Claire Bennett, it's Melina Bennett. And I'm like, wait, did she
Who the
have a
hell's Melina
sister?
Bennett?
I don't know.
What the?
Lena Bennett.
I don't understand.
Is that Chloe Bennett's sister?
I don't know. I didn't watch this show, but
No,
So
they don't
it's a
look
cousin?
alike at all.
I mean, for the headshot that they have on this thing, she vaguely looks like her. Like that.
Lena Bennett's the character's name.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Oh,
So she's
I thought you were
she's
saying
related
it's okay.
She's related to one of the. Well, that's
No,
how you do it.
She's related.
She's another.
She's related to Claire Bennett, the character of
Yeah.
Hayden Panettiere. That's what I'm saying.
Oh.
Not
Right.
Chloe Bennett from Shield. It's a different
Yes,
Bennett.
that's who I thought you were talking about.
No, I'm talking about Claire Bennett from Heroes because that's the
I
show
thought
we're
you were
on.
talking about Chloe Bennett. And I was like, Chloe Bennett has a sister?
No,
I'm into that.
Nope. We're talking about Claire somehow.
Because it's always about Claire. She's the star. She's the one that made the show.
Well, season 4, or was it Heroes Reborn, tried to prove that wrong.
Yeah, it's fair. Didn't end well.
And- No, it was pretty shitty.
Oh, you're right. That headshot, it like just from a glance, it does. Yeah.
yeah,
It looks like a straight on copy.
yeah, and it's like that's got to be her sister or something from an alternate timeline where Heroes like I screwed up, and then
He's so proud of his screw up.
Pretty happy guy.
yeah, he started out like that's the thing too. That's another thing where it's like the promise of something where we had like Hero the Nebbish like I want to be Hero, cool, and then you see him in the future version like I've seen some shit, man. Someday you'll get the sword too, the sword of Hanzo, and you'll know. And then like we never get even close to that. Like it's always just like a twinkle in our eyes of like that cool that badass character, the old man Logan of Hero, the old man Hito we never got to.
Well, I feel like that's always a promise of any time travelers. You get the I've seen some shit. You never get the like shit's fucking awesome. I can't wait till you get there.
Well, and that's the thing. We wanted to get to that point at some point and see what shit did he see.
You know what I want a time traveler to do at some point in a show is to show up with a watch and be like, have all the characters who are about to fight on a rooftop, right? And they're like, okay, Siler's coming. We got to hold him off. And Hero pops in and he's like, just bam, he just got hit by a train. We're all good. You know, like where's that moment from a time traveler? Like, oh, don't worry, I set it all up. He's gonna get hit by a train on the way here. Like, let's walk very slowly to get there, and we'll just finish him up.
And he just turns on a TV monitor that has a camera pointed down at the like. Oh, but just watch this. But we have to get ready. Just watch this for a second.
Like, I feel like this is a Rip Hunter move, maybe.
Yeah, that's definitely like Legends. I can almost guess that's happened in Legends of Tomorrow. So
Yeah.
I think it's the inherent flaw of time travel is that with being able to time travel, you don't have to plan for shit. You just show up. No one ever sits out, like you said, and says, all right, well, let me set up something before I come back. That will make my job easier. It's like, no, I'm going to go right to the moment where it's super difficult to fix anything and try and fix it there.
Time travel is one weakness, unstated. You have to be an idiot. The only way you get the power.
Yeah, Booster Gold would agree.
Exactly. I was going to say, like, I can imagine Booster Gold trying to do that.
I know, but there was this, I mean, you wouldn't believe it. It almost... forget it.
And then somehow murdering all the other heroes accidentally and going, oopsies.
Hijinks ensue.
Yep.
It's really just a bunch of death.
Then somehow the Flash comes back to save them and ends up turning into a dystopian alternate reality again.
I think of one of the more recent times Booster Gold did that. He screwed up Batman's marriage. Like that was it
gets called off because of what Booster does. Yeah. The whole wedding gets called off because Booster shows up and he's like, Batman, we got a problem. And Selina's like, no, you don't have a problem. We're getting married. And then
Marty, it's your kids. They're assholes.
Yeah, I feel like that was going to happen for Batman anyway. He was just looking for an excuse.
What a tease, though, huh? Like, oh my God, this thing is happening finally after 40 years. And then way to go, DC. I love that they, as a Booster fan, I own most of the issues he's been in of other stuff, and I have his whole run of 2 volumes. And anytime he shows up to screw up something, I'm game for it.
Really should just change his name then.
Taking all suggestions.
Yeah. When you say something like that, we expect them to be. We should change his name to something. No, you just.
I was saying that we should. I didn't say I had a name.
The screw up, the mess up. No, Booster Gold is synonymous with that, and that's why it's his name.
And this is why you weren't in the planning room for Heroes, because they were a bunch of guys just like you saying, like, we should plan this story out a little bit more.
Well, we really boosted that one, didn't we?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So in the end, you could watch Heroes if you wanted, folks. There's also, by the way, the thing that I showed off earlier at the time, like they were doing tie-in comics, and like
they did.
Like, do you want to know more about this character? Read their story here.
Wasn't this when they started exercising YouTube as well for like the?
Yes.
No, was that later?
They had a YouTube, like a short little web series. I thought.
Yeah.
I thought that was for Heroes Reborn.
Oh, maybe. God, now
I think it's for Heroes Reborn that they did a YouTube series called Dark something. Heroes. It's not Heroes Dark, but it's like
Heroes After Dark.
Heroes After Dark would be interesting.
Yeah, nice.
That sounds like a Robot Chicken sketch.
Yes, or it's a Showtime show.
Comes on right after Pushing Daisies.
Brian Fuller is a wholesome gentleman. Okay.
I just want it to be clear to anybody that is anyone listening that did not live through Heroes. It was a big deal. Like it was truly like it was the big hit of that year.
It's impossible to tell someone that is not of that age, hey, Iron Man and that entire thing that that is the tentpole structure for Disney Plus did not exist. Maybe we knew it was coming because it was 2006, but like
no one thought it would. Yeah, and even if you knew, it's like, oh, that's a mistake. Like, a lot of the thought behind it was, oh, they shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it had all of the best intentions, and again,
no one in Hollywood up to that point was like, "Hey, you should go watch this." By the way, the John Travolta Punisher movie was before this, but no one walked around and was like, "You should go get Garth Ennis to write the Punisher movie."
Yeah,
right.
No, we were like, yeah.
It was like, oh no, John Travolta and Thomas Jane are making the Punisher because they like that comic. You know, Thomas Jane likes comics. He's a Comic-Con, but like, I don't know who the people that wrote that movie. I'm looking at their names right now.
I also wondered too, like, again,
now I gotta see what else they wrote. Sorry.
Jonathan Hensley, the director of Jumanji.
There was also there was web comics. But then there's also Heroes Origins, which was another series, and Heroes Destiny, I
don't think Heroes Origins ever happened. Didn't that get canceled because of the writer's strike directly? They had that spinoff lined up, and then
okay, that's what that was. So then Heroes Destiny is the web series of interstitials. There's also Heroes Evolutions, which another thing
was that?
I don't even know. Oh, it's a digital extension of the Heroes show. That's the web series, I guess.
Okay.
It's Heroes Evolutions. He's right though. Heroes Origin, because going into season 2, they're like, we've got such a hit. It's time to make a spin-off. Heroes Origins, the stories where they all started, and then like, no, never mind. Here's
where they all started. Season 1, where they got their powers of this show.
I was going to say, shouldn't they have just written that into season 2?
They did, and that's where we get Hero going back in time to see how these people started at their defining points. That's what we got.
Well, I felt like that was just the writers trying to like give it to the studio, like, oh, if you won't let us do our goddamn spinoff, we're going to write it into this show anyway. We'll show you, Mom.
Heroes.fandom.com says that Heroes Origins is an upcoming spinoff of the series Heroes.
It will not be upcoming.
No. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No. No. No, 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 no. Hell no. 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 I refuse. No. No.
Not be upcoming at any point in time.
I gotta say, I don't know. It's on the internet.
Damn it.
So,
I mean, if that's on the Heroes web ring on is it a GeoCities site or Angel Fire? Because I need to know.
I was saying, are you reading that in Chrome, Firefox? Like what?
Blogspot.
You might have some sort of filter in your Chrome that is making that.
This may be the Wayback Machine. I don't know.
Yeah.
No, it's coming, guys. It says it right here. They never changed it to the other taglines either. It's still "Save the Cheerleader, Save the World." They never went one of the other ones.
Were there other ones?
Didn't they like heroes, villains, or like they kept having like tried to have those themes?
Series 2, season. Oh God, the beginning of season 3 is heroes, villains, and then halfway through season 3 is because it's on the web, it's on our doc. They have a different subtitle for that. Or Fugitives was the mid-season changeover was Heroes.
That's the point. Having read the synopsis of Heroes Reborn after the lambasting that it got, that was the point of that show, was that they were all fugitives, like all the hero type people, because they were being blamed and they were being hunted by vigilantes and stuff.
Right. Were they being blamed for what incident though?
The train wreck that was never solved because they cut the plot point out of the first season of Heroes.
I thought they were being blamed for bringing carnivals back.
Hey,
they could be blamed for that too.
That's possible.
Maybe they should. Well, I mean, I guess you could ask the counter argument of it being ahead of its time. Now that
you could not laugh while you're trying to do it.
I didn't say it was going to be a good one. I just said we could at least ask it. Now that we have shows like Daredevil and Luke Cage, things like that on Netflix, could you bring a show like Heroes to Netflix and see it flourish? Or was it just a kind of a thing of its time and needs to be left there alone? I'm not saying that you reboot this one, but at least the concept of a sprawling Earth with a lot of characters and kind of multi-seasoned.
It's the latter of those two. It's the forget it. It's in the past.
Yeah.
It's potential. It landed in the best time possible for it. I mean, maybe if anything, it should have been a little earlier so that we wouldn't have had the glut of other stuff to get exposed to. Like there's, it's as we've seen, the stuff that's now in the medium are existing IPs, and something that's new doesn't have a space to a certain degree. And like even we just got Jupiter's Legacy on Netflix, and so like even the new superhero content we're getting isn't new. It's reformatted. It's a remaster of an existing IP. So I think its time is in the past, and it can stay there and be a signpost or a warning to a cautionary tale. Thank you.
For our time traveling audience.
All right.
Yeah.
Counterpoint. Isn't Heroes now existing IP?
Yep, he's got a point.
There's a lot of Tim Sale art out there that you could repurpose for this show.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It's beautiful
Netflix?
too. Yeah.
it's beautiful art.
They tried it with Heroes Reborn. I believe Heroes is at least still connected to NBC in some way. Like if Peacock needs content, I could definitely see like, hey,
I'm surprised Quibi
This Is
didn't
Us
find
was
some way
just
to get it on.
canceled.
I'm sure Quibi was like itching for it.
I think you'd see a Firefly reboot first. Not that that's
Ooh.
NBC,
I would
that's
say-
Fox, but
not with Joss Whedon. That's not now.
No.
Yeah.
no, I'm just saying like your chances of Heroes coming back are zero, is what I'm trying to say.
I mean, I agree with that. I also think, yeah, I guess that's it can be left at that.
Can we call this episode Heroes is Zeros?
They
It
weren't.
doesn't have to make
You know,
sense. I like it.
Here's your counterpoint argument. The first one through the door is always going to get bloody, right?
Yeah.
There is no chance that Heroes trying to come out in a world that didn't have the mistakes already made. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
God, just the mystery aspect of it alone.
I mean,
don't
but
know.
that's where they could have learned from Lost before them. They could have been like, oh, Lost kind of got Lost
But
got lost.
weren't they in the middle of Lost kind of wrapping up anyway?
So Lost.
that's my
No,
point, though.
Lost was only on the air for 2 years before this, and they were still going very strong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It explains why, because we were in the middle of that mystery.
You were in the
spot
middle of
box.
mystery Lost,
Yeah.
and everything had to be a mystery, and
Right.
so they jammed in with comic books and Heroes, and like they took us all through, but you know they tripped down the stairs at the same time. I don't know. I mean, yeah, I don't know how you make it successful given the tools they had and the language that didn't exist yet. Iron Man comes out and it becomes acceptable to talk about this stuff outside of a comic book convention and debuting it, you know, in a theater and all that, and have it be super successful. I mean, obviously the Spider-Man movies were very successful, but if you went and told someone in 2002 that you went to see the Spider-Man movie, they're like, "Oh, with that Tobey Maguire guy?"
And you say, yeah,
And you're like, "Yeah, it was good. I liked it."
that's not what I said. It's really not. It's not what I
Say
said.
it. Say it.
Not what I said.
Sand! Sand! Sand!
I definitely said something distinctly different about Toby.
I didn't hear it.
He's a
Yeah,
winner.
but you-
If you didn't hear, listen to last week's 10 Gentle Giants where I lambasted Mr. Maguire and his lack of acting skills.
How much you love
it's
Mr.
because
Maguire.
he's a dancer.
Yeah, and he showed off those
Damn
skills.
Epic
fine one.
Dancer.
Hey, he can dance if he wants to. He can leave the cast
Spider-Man 3
behind.
should have just been a musical, to be honest with you.
Oh my God, Kareem, you've nailed it. Disney Plus, Spider-Man the musical.
I feel like they're just
Please.
going to air the footage of Spider-Man the musical where all this shit kept falling apart and people kept getting injured.
It hasn't even opened yet, but there has been another accident for the most expensive Broadway musical ever. A stuntman in Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark fell about 30 feet during a preview performance last night. Rob Nelson has more.
What if season 2, episode 1, Spider-Man the musical? Bring back Nathan Lane to play Spider-Ham.
This
Hey,
is going to work
This
too
is
well.
gold.
Yeah.
I got it. It's easy.
I think one of the ways you could have made Heroes pretty legit was to break up season 1 and not drag it out for 20-something episodes.
Yeah.
And
That
you
would-
would have had a more coherent season 2, so to speak.
your argument about Netflix and this argument are the same argument, and that is this form factor of television dead? And the answer is yes. Mini series television or 13 episodes on Netflix are the answer now, and they have to be premium hours only. Right.
Agreed.
Tim Allen would disagree, sir.
Tim Allen's off the air.
Oh, he'll be back. Don't you
yeah.
worry.
Sadly, he will be.
Really, though?
But that's
CBS needs it.
Yeah. Well, actually, now that Fox, what
I'm
is
sure you'll find
Fox?
something on HGTV or something.
That's I don't
Well,
know.
the argument in every studio is going to be, how's this going to perform on streaming? Even if they put it on television, it doesn't matter. Like, it's going backwards now. Star Trek Discovery, Brian Fuller, premiered on CBS All Access and is now on television.
Yep. Very true.
So the question is how it performs streaming first, right? And so you can't air 20 episodes, 25 episodes. I think the last show that'll be able to do it will have been Marvel, the Shield, Agents of Shield.
Law and Order SVU.
That's a different type of TV. All that stuff is a different type of TV though. Procedurals are basically movies every day.
Fair enough.
You can't, I don't know how you compare that type of television or reality TV. It doesn't matter how long they are. They could be on all year.
So you're really
they are on all
two,
year.
I'm like,
it's the same.
really...
They air the same episode every week. It's just got different faces on it.
Yeah.
No,
that's what you do. Is you make heroes. You shoot it in the is it the mockumentary style?
Well, you office the heroes.
It's half reality, half scripted.
Oh
my
God!
The illusion of it.
I would 100% watch the show where they do the interviews with them right after. Yeah. Okay. Yes, please.
Well, I just want to see the interview of like them saying like, I'm surprised work hasn't shut down even though there's been 7 murders, and then they just pan over to Siler sitting there quietly.
Just drawing the line on the next person.
I have had an idea.
What do you got?
Eugene Levy is now the Horn Rim Glasses.
Now you'll be asked to do things that fall into morally gray territory.
I'm comfortable with morally gray.
Nobody outside the organization knows about the measures we take to keep them safe.
Well, they can't know. People are fragile.
You're part of the family now.
We find these people. That's what we do, and you buried one.
Well, what if it was Claire?
Hey, baby.
What?
Nothing.
Anything interesting happened today, sweetheart?
Perfect.
Wait, okay,
sign up on this.
So instead of being the paper company, it's the company from the show now. Like
yes.
that's the. Unfortunately, we're just writing the show for the next NBC spinoff. And we're not going to get any money.
It's just called Heroes, the company.
Yeah, perfect.
Damn it, we're just giving away gold here.
This is great. I would watch this. I don't even care what Heroes did to me. Eugene Levy is Horn Rim Glasses in Heroes, the company.
I actually, if I may, I would like him to be Horn Rim Glasses boss. Bigger
Okay.
Horn Rim Glasses.
Sure.
Yeah,
bigger
bigger Horn Rim glasses.
BHRG.
Is that how they show status? Is
Yes.
your manager and
Just
above?
larger and larger glasses.
Yes.
Larger than glasses.
When you are hired secretly into the company, they give you a very tiny pair. Like, this is where you start. See what you can do.
You get a monocle.
3 episodes in. Oh man,
You got to earn
good.
the other one.
that's good.
Damn it! Can't believe we're just giving away gold.
It'll
Somebody's
be streaming
gotta do
next
it.
year. We won't get paid.
Yeah. Now on Paramount Plus.
No, we're bringing back Quibi. That's the only way this gets made. In 7-minute increments.
Hold on. Trademark.
that?
There. Now nobody can do anything. Done.
Oh my god, who
Said
thought
the
that
word.
was a good idea?
Patent pending.
Old
Patent pending.
TV
Quibi?
execs. Yeah. And everyone
It's the
kept telling
same
them, like,
people. It's the same people that said that people only watch YouTube for 1 minute. It's the
Yeah.
same exact people that were like, and Quibi. It's like you don't understand the internet.
No, and they kept
it
telling
is-
them like, you need work on this app. You need an audience. You need a social media presence. Nah, give them 4.5 minutes. They'll lap it up. They're all idiots.
Just hire a bunch of famous people.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's just Jeffrey Katzenberg saying, "I know better than everybody else," and then he raised up money and did it.
Does it feel
Yeah,
like he
and then he
just
lost
got angry and said, "Oh, you don't like my shows? Oh, it's because they're too long. You can't handle it. You just can't pay that attention. You know what? I'll give you what you want then. Here, stupids."
Basically. And then the best part was that it could have at least elongated the suffering for everybody and gotten more people paid, more content created if the pandemic didn't hit, because the entire idea was that, hey, you're commuting, right? You like the train, you like watch stuff on your YouTubes. And then everyone's like, oh, we're gonna stay home and watch quality stuff. It's like, son of a bitch.
Yeah, like Tiger King.
Oh, Jesus.
I would much rather watch premium television in 7-minute increments in my Netflix app on the train than something made to be 7 minutes. Right? Like,
yeah.
What are you getting out of that?
And it was episodic
What's the difference?
too. That was the worst part. Is that it would be like watching Loki in 7-minute increments and then saying, oh, did you see those 7 minutes, kid?
Yeah.
All right, so wait till next week to get a full view of the 14-minute breakdown.
Ooh, I can't.
Pretty amazing that it took until he was 70 years old for somebody to tell Katzenberg he was wrong about something.
I don't even think they told him. I think they just said, we have to close up shop because we're out of money.
No, he still thinks it's going.
I mean,
they're still making Quibbies just for him.
Yeah, like he gets. It's still happening, guys.
Oh man, what a trash bag guy! By the way, did you hear how he fired everybody at that place?
Yeah.
No.
He told them all in an email to turn on the song from Get Back Up Again from that Trolls movie. And then he was like, and you're all fired. As of right now, this minute today. See you later.
Yeah, I don't mean to laugh at that. The delivery was ridiculous. It's like something out of a fucking movie.
No, it's not even out of a movie. It's out of some movie executive's brain of like, what if people heard that they were fired over an amazing song from a
They
Trolls
can't be
movie?
mad.
It is.
They won't ever be mad. They won't tell the internet.
Who hates Justin Timberlake at that point?
It is literally the corporations you see in video games like Fallout and Outer Worlds. It's that mentality. Like, oh, we'll play the happy music and give them some drugs and then fire.
It's worse. It's worse than that because at least the video game companies just fire people.
No, I'd say the characters from the video games.
And Spacer's Choice. Like
I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about bad business practices of video game companies.
Well, that's where they get their influence from.
That's a different podcast.
That's Art Imitating Life.
Yeah. That's a podcast called We Were Gamers. Find us at We Were Gamers.
We Were Gamers everywhere on the internet.
Did they talk about people getting fired? Because that sounds like a depressing podcast.
I don't know, Ken. Is it depressing? It kind of is. I tried to play Celeste and then talked about how old I am. I can't platform. I have to do how many jumps in a row? I don't think so.
Speaking of which, we did an episode
this room.
talking about Castlevania. You guys should do one on that.
They have.
They have. Awesome.
Yeah,
I've listened to that.
Yeah. There's a new cat. Have you tried Bloodstained yet?
Mm-mm.
If you like Castlevania, you should play Bloodstained.
I tried playing it and I remembered I didn't like it.
Castlevania, you mean?
Yes. I went back and tried an emulator to try and play the game, and I was like thinking to myself, I like the cartoon. I thought I liked the game.
Dude, that show was great. Can we do an episode on that show? Because please.
Yeah.
So amazing.
It's just going to be
before or after Terminator versus RoboCop, and I think we need to get our priorities in line and do Terminator versus RoboCop well before Castlevania.
Whoa, you just said that because you haven't watched Castlevania.
Yeah.
You know what?
Exactly.
I've at least played the game in the last 5 years, so
I did too. I just said I didn't like it.
No, well,
hey, Ken, here. Go watch Castlevania. Alucard is played by James Callis.
Let's find out.
Belmont, you can't do this!
Tell it you're floating vampire Jesus here.
You've got nothing but insults, have you? A tired little...
Oh, hey. We know him. Yeah.
See? Is that
so now go watch Castlevania.
Is that stunt casting?
I think he's done other voice acting as well, so
Andy, we had a big argument about stunt casting in a previous episode.
I wouldn't call that stunt casting because who knows who James Callis is other than Ken.
I mean, that's true, but it's because we've met him, so there's that.
Yeah.
Like, that's
I wouldn't call it stunt casting.
Okay.
I don't know what you guys determined was stunt casting, but
anything Ken didn't like.
I see. Okay. Patrick and I felt that that Seth Rogen cast as Alan the Alien in Invincible was stunt casting.
No.
Thank you.
That's nepotism because he's sponsoring the show.
That's semi-fair.
He's friends with Kirkman, and he's still writing that movie. So that was nepotism, not stunt casting. He said, "I want to play Alan the Alien," and they said, "Okay."
Okay. One more question before we let you go. Who has a more star power right now? Seth Rogen or Sandra Oh? Wow, I don't know why this is taking that long. I mean,
it's a legit question.
No, it's not. It's a very simple question. No, I'm sorry. When did Sandra Oh have a movie called Sausage Party that was starring her? When did Sandra Oh have a movie that was starring her? Period.
Did I said in the conversation?
You know that she's like, what? How many people watch Sausage Party?
No, how many people
were talking about now?
It wasn't. No, I'm saying Seth Rogen didn't carry that movie. There was like 25 other actors.
No one carried that movie. No one carried that movie at all. That movie was garbage.
I would say, though, that probably more people watch Grey's Anatomy than have seen every movie of Seth Rogen's ever made.
That was my point.
Okay. That's more people have seen her on that show, but how many movies has she headlined? That was the question.
No, you said star power. You didn't say movies headlined.
Okay, I'm sorry, but I identify if you can say, oh, this person.
Well, you just said I identify. You didn't ask. You didn't say.
Okay,
well, how do I identify this? Answer this, Andy.
Then Andy and Kareem, answer this. How many movies has Sandra Oh headlined versus Seth Rogen headlining?
Not as many. I don't know the exact number.
But
that doesn't equate to star power.
I wouldn't call her a leading actress, I guess.
That's my point.
I mean,
and I'm not
overall.
saying this isn't a statement on the quality of her acting. She's phenomenal. My point being is that Seth Rogen has more popular cachet, if you will.
I said, and I admitted that he did in our genre of
not
film
even
and
in our genre, in the world that we live in.
I just told you. 15
I would say
more
people in the world, not in the world you live in, know who Sandra Oh is than Seth Rogen.
Yes.
I think you have rose-colored glasses, sir.
Grey's Anatomy, man. That's all I have to say.
The name. You can't even say the name.
No, because I haven't watched it, but she's been on the air for 10 years.
She was on there, and then the show Killing Eve. Like, she's been a mainstay.
Yeah.
On
television. Yeah, Killing Eve. That's right.
Didn't she win an Emmy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
she's a fantastic actress. I'm not saying she's not good. I'm saying that if you said, hey, what movies is Sandra Oh in and what movie is Seth Rogen in, you will get more people, generally, I'll say America, in that saying like, oh, well, I can name these movies that Seth Rogen's been in, and I can name Sideways.
Yeah, but you're asking for movies. If I were to say, do you know who Sandra Oh is, and do you know who Seth Rogen is, I would say more people would know who Sandra Oh is.
I show me that poll. I will be happy to see it.
I don't think you will, because I've just told you how many people watch Grey's Anatomy.
That's like, well, your
movies,
opinion.
Movies, Sausage Party.
I'm trying to find the last thing.
I love you didn't go like The Interview or
that Seth Rogen appeared in with his face.
Because we were talking about voice acting, and so Sausage Party is in that realm.
You and me.
I'm so happy the gods put our packages together.
It's because we belong together.
It's like we were made for each other.
Yeah, but I feel like everyone in that movie was stunt casted, if we were going by your definition.
That's fair. I don't think it's a good movie either. So I'm saying that he can get more projects made right now if he's attached for whatever reasons.
Well, I mean, but our Andy, our general consent was that I was saying that stunt casting would have to be followed by promotion. Otherwise, you don't know what stunt casting. So when Alan the Alien was voiced, unless you recognize his voice, it wasn't like they said, watch Invincible because we have Seth Rogen in it.
I will say the person that I watched Invincible with knew Sandra Oh's voice. And when I said Alan the Alien is Seth Rogen, she said, oh.
Thank you.
But she knew who they both were.
Yes, but she picked out with her ears, like, I know that voice. Is that Sandra Oh? And then the other one was me going, the boyfriend thing, like, hey, that's Seth Rogen.
That's because he didn't have a line where he laughed like, and
he did laugh.
Did he? Did he?
Yeah, he laughs after the first fight.
How in this entire discussion did you not bring up Pineapple Express with both of us on this podcast?
I don't
Ken?
like Seth Rogen. My point is that he has far more movies than Sandra Oh does. and has headlined those movies
So
as opposed to Sandra Oh.
So the argument is movies trump TV.
I'm not sure that he has actually more movie credits than Sandra Oh. Looking at their
more headlined movies.
Well, now you're really getting very specific about how you define Seth Rogen's popularity.
Where is the last? I'm trying to find the last movie that he headlined that was a hit.
Again, I'm not saying that
Green
they're
Hornet?
good movies. I'm never saying
American
that they're good
Pickle.
Oh, my bad. You're right.
That?
He plays him and his grandpa.
Exactly. 2 roles, dual threat.
Yeah.
You're making his manager up in the top corner, Ken.
I would like to point out to Ken that a half of his film credits, say voice.
Half of his. That's
yeah. Actually, he's done a lot of voice acting, which we
it's
did
almost
not look
all
up.
voice acting. Not almost all, but it's a lot of voice acting in there.
Oh, so maybe he isn't stunt cast as a voice actor, huh?
Or he was.
Maybe he's just
I'm
a
right.
legitimate voice actor. Really
I mean, he plays
nullifies your whole
Mantis.
argument.
I know that one off the top of my head. He plays the Kung Fu Panda, the Mantis guy.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Didn't know that.
And that's got like what 7 movies attached.
I have
to
kids, and I've watched that movie a few times.
Wait, Kung Fu Panda's DreamWorks, right?
Yeah, with Jack Black.
Yeah. So
And there's
they
like-
they
there's
just
at least
take any
4 of those.
celebrity they can
And
find.
Angelina Jolie. Talk about stunt casting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They take any celebrity they can find off the street. Say, hey, need a voice.
You mean
Get
anyone
in
that
here.
isn't contracted to Pixar?
What's it? Dustin Hoffman playing the wise Kung Fu master.
Wait, the turtle?
No.
The lemur.
The ring-tailed lemur, I think he is.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no, he's not a ring-tailed lemur. He's it's like a mouse.
Yeah.
I think he's
Now
a
you-
mouse.
Now you're gonna make me look up Kung Fu Panda.
You should look it up if you haven't seen it anyway.
No, I've seen it. It's a fun movie. It's,
Because
there
Seth
was-
Rogen's in it.
It's a whole. That was the whole. That's how one of these discussions about voice acting started for me. Is with a friend of the podcast, Ken Dixon, was like, "Oh wait, so like I can't believe they cast Jack Black in this. I don't want this stunt casting. I want a good voice actor." And then he watched it and he loved the movie. And I'm like,
Yeah, Jack Black did a great job. That would not have 3 sequels and a television show if Jack Black had not been the panda.
Very true.
That's fair.
So, to sum it up, heroes shouldn't come back.
Not in any form.
I just
unless
Seth Rogen is involved.
and it was a mockumentary.
Yes,
It's a mockumentary, and it has to be Heroes the company. Seth Rogen is the Will Smith joining the agency with Eugene Levy playing.
So he plays the Idris Elba character from The Office.
No.
Oh.
You said Will
No, no,
Smith.
no.
That's what threw me.
No,
off.
I'm going Men in Black now. I'm changing it up a little bit.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Sandra Oh's his partner.
So Eugene Levy plays Rip Torn's character.
All right.
Seth Rogen is now Will Smith, and Idris
rookie.
Elba is Tommy Lee Jones,
I like it.
and it's a mockumentary as they join the company.
Again, greenlit. Let's get on with this.
Can Sandra Oh be part of a competing shady organization that's trying to capture superheroes?
Well, in season 2, when Idris Elba is working at a post office, we get Sandra Oh to replace Sandra Bullock.
I feel like Sandra Oh should just be like the.
That's Men in Black 2.
Yeah.
I mean, like, come on, Ken. Ken's
It
staring
writes
at me like
itself.
he's never seen Men in Black before.
Sandra Bullock was in Men in Black 2?
Yeah, dude.
No, she wasn't.
She was in the first one and the second one.
Sandra
I think
That's
Bullock?
not Sandra Bullock.
That's
No,
Linda
that's
Fior-
Linda
what's her name?
Florentino. Or,
Yeah,
or
that
no.
name.
No, you're right. You're right, Ken.
Okay.
I don't think she was in the second one, was she?
No, she wasn't. She was just in the first one. That's what's even more throwing me off is that when you're like, yeah,
I think
Sandra Bullock
they
in Men in
led us
Black.
to believe that there were going to be
Oh.
a relationship between the two of them.
Yeah,
But I think
sorry.
it was also, was it Will Smith who said this, or someone had mentioned that, like, oh, I think it was Michael Bay actually admitted that, like, oh, Will Smith couldn't be a love interest of white women at the time,
Ugh.
which is why him and Tia Leone didn't get together in Bad Boys 1, or why him and what's her name didn't hook up in Men in Black as well.
Do I remember? I must remember.
Yeah, it's right. It's Linda Florentino.
It's Linda Florentino. You're right.
Yeah. So,
She was the
My bad.
Hydrox Sandra Bullock.
yeah. Hydrox came first.
Pretty sure Lyndon Florentino wasn't she an actor before Sandra Bullock, or am I getting confused?
She was a bigger name, I think.
What was she? I mean, how do we define a bigger name here? I don't even know anymore.
She was in Dogma. She's not a bigger name than Sandra Bullock.
Fair.
There's Kevin Smith and Puller, huh?
I mean,
I just feel like Sandra Oh should be like the voice that like is talking like when someone's in an elevator or when they're walking through the halls. You don't see her until season 2. That way she can get her voice credit that Ken doesn't want her to have.
All right, different idea. What if they just put her in the Mohinder role where she does like the introduction discussion,
and then she becomes a villain?
Yes.
By the way, Linda Florentino was born in 58. Sandra Bullock was born in 64. So Linda Florentino came first.
So she is the Hydrox of Sandra Bullock.
So less popular.
Less popular, more affordable.
Same price, man. I don't know if you've noticed.
Hydrox is the same price as Oreos these days?
They might be more expensive because Oreos can sell 3 times as much.
Well, also Oreos has
they are.
But also
Seriously.
Oreos has like 14 flavors. So you have like the coconut thins, you have the lemon ones, you have the root beer float,
Hydrox never explored that, did they?
No, they were just like, we're gonna do one thing and we're gonna do it mediocrely.
Yeah, I was gonna say they didn't do it well.
So Andy, where can people find you?
Thank you.
We Were Gamers podcasts about doing video games as a person who has very little time to spare in your day, and making sure you stay connected to other people. So it's We Were Gamers, all one word. You can find it pretty much everywhere on the internet.
Where
Put at
podcasts
the
are
bottom of
sold.
your lower third.
Yeah, we also, tweet once in a while, and we Instagram even less than that. And so we're very successful at the social media.
And
But
we
have 200 and plus episodes of the main pod for people, and we do sub podcasts actually on there. So if you like Star Trek, we have a sub podcast on Star Trek only, and we also have a sub podcast that is sometimes, almost most of the time, about Star Wars with a friend of the pod, Kit and Ken Rolo, sitting right there.
That's me.
Yeah, where we talk a lot of Star Wars stuff, but sometimes we talk about the
And then
Karate
there's a sub pod called Karate Scoring, where we talk about Cobra Kai.
Yeah,
and the original Karate Kid as well.
Karate Kid series. Yeah,
I would love to listen to that one. I've been watching so much of the Cobra Kai. I'd love to hear someone talk about it.
So Cobra
It's such a good
Kai,
show.
man, Cobra Kai,
So good.
really nails it. It really does.
It really does.
They knew what they were doing. They got the right people involved.
Yeah, and the story just again, I could talk about it for days, but I won't. I will listen instead.
Sounds like we need to make a guest appearance happen.
I would love to talk about it because it's so good.
Andy, can I ask what you're playing right now then?
I am halfway through Celeste. I can show you why I'm only halfway though. This is not an ad, but Kareem will be very happy. I just picked up this bad boy.
Ooh,
yeah,
Elite.
that's an Elite 2.
Yeah.
So the last 3 episodes of our podcast, we were talking about controllers all the time. Like N64 controllers, things like that, and things we remembered and liked. And I was in the middle of playing Celeste with another brand's premium controller, and I was missing jumps a lot, and I was starting to wonder why. And so I went out and grabbed an Elite 2, and so I'm in the middle of Celeste still. I'm relearning how to use a controller because they're very different.
Mhm.
The Elite 2's stick tension is very tight. It's like even on its loosest setting. So I know Celeste is an old game for a lot of people, but I'm about halfway through that. It takes a long time because I like to just sort of do stuff without a guide. And that means a lot of death in that game. And I'm also playing a lot of Call of Duty, the free Warzone game as well. I seem to like that one. I don't know why I keep playing it. I do. It's one of those things where you're like, eventually you start to get good at something, and you feel market improvement. And at this age I have an hour and a half after my kids are in bed, this is the point of that podcast, is like, let's talk about what is worth people's while. So a lot of the other people that come on there talk about what they get through, and it's like, yeah, knowing the amount of time you have in the games you like, this is probably worth your while or it's not. And so
Sounds
that's
good.
the two things I have going on right now.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. Well, thank you so much for coming on and joining
Yeah.
us and giving us all of your opinions. They were more than
Yeah.
welcome.
Well, it's nice to discuss things that they're going to fall out of the lexicon, right? Like no one, my kids will never know what Heroes was. It's not going to be like you haven't heard of Knight Rider, and they go on the internet and like they'll be able to find Knight Rider because enough people will be keeping the flame, I think. But like the lexicon of superhero pop culture now is dominated by Marvel. And that's a good thing overall, I think. But stuff like this that really tried to be different and new that failed, objectively, is cool to remember, I think, a lot of it. So next time, Dolph Lundgren Punisher.
Yeah, you know it. That's all this has been leading up to. Once I do that pod, I'm going to just quit. I'm like, I've
walk away.
I've hit where I've needed to go. Going out on a high note.
Andy, your mouth is right and checks your ears can't cash. I'm just saying.
Can we do a compare and contrast with the Thomas Jane Punisher? I just want to
There's
they were actors.
There's no
wait.
comparison to Thomas Jane as the Punisher. That is the mountain that everyone else has to climb.
Are we also going to compare the Punisher from Warzone as well? Like, are we going to bring Ray Stevenson into the conversation?
Man,
I like that Punisher.
Punisher Warzone, man.
And I still follow the director. She's pretty amazing.
Lexi Alexander.
Yeah, she's pretty awesome.
I know her personally.
That's so cool. Well,
I'm going to say that out loud.
We'll need to do a pod where we could talk about Punisher and his two intelligence.
And it's too intelligent.
I'm very happy she made that film.
Me too.
Even though Mm-hmm.
Even though you have mixed feelings
Gotcha.
about the movie, maybe.
There's good feelings and bad feelings about that movie. Yeah.
Fair enough.
All right, we will stay away from Punisher Warzone. Hitting some spots. All right.
Touches the nerves.
Thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it.
No, thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for your time. We appreciate it. And I mean, if you get more time, I know having kids, we don't really get that. It just seems as they get older, more time gets taken away.
It's tough. You want to be there and do stuff, you know?
Oh yeah. No, I'm right there. The only reason why I'm able to do this is one, normally because they're asleep, but right now they're out of town. So I have lots of free time.
Can't believe you put them in a post office box, just shot them to the wind, hoping they get back.
You have to make choices as a parent.
As long as you put the return address and the send to address as the same, it should turn around fast enough.
And they get to travel the world. Who knows?
You put granola bars in there; they're fine.
Yeah.
Did you poke holes in the top?
I'll be right back. No, thanks again, and I would love to have you on for our future ones. We'll keep you marked for Terminator, and what was the other one?
Terminator versus RoboCop.
That was the one, but there was another one.
Oh, there was another comment.
If only we had this recorded.
I honestly am just still working on Heroes, the company in my head this whole time. So I've been rambling a little bit.
NBC is getting a pitch tomorrow.
No, I was just actually kind of thinking about can you
go to
rework
Netflix,
that
we
to
just talked about
another
this.
property?
Or hey, you know who's throwing money at people? Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a Bezos fan, but he's throwing money at people. I'll take it.
You got to pick your millionaire or your billionaire, as it were.
Yeah,
you know, it doesn't really matter who you got. What Tim Apple?
Tim Apple, yeah.
Got
he's too ethical.
Richard Branson. I want.
Oh heavens!
I want my content
Did you
only
look up
streamed
McAfee?
to
Is that what you did,
Tesla.
Ken?
What's up?
I said, did you look up McAfee? Is that what you did?
No, I was,
heavens.
I was looking at the list, and I'm like, there's on the list. There's board games and Grandma's Rules, which I think board games. I think Andy Thompson. Like that is the top of my brain.
Board games.
Yeah.
There's just the overviews explain the culture around the game and why it leads to nothing but heartache and anger.
There's one more qualified than me, and you know him, and he also goes by Andrew.
Oh yeah, I mean I don't think I've ever heard him on a pod, so I don't know if he has the voice for it. If he's been like, I've been like willing to pod for years and never gotten the game. So
I don't know. Good question.
Maybe we'll record an interview where he doesn't.
It just ends up being a Battlestar Galactica podcast at that point. That's
for me, yeah, because that's one of my favorite ones. But there are like literally like $500 more than that worth of.
Oh, it was Punisher. Punisher was the other one we were talking.
There we go. We just talked about it. Like
Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah.
Dolph Lundgren, Punisher.
So Terminator and Punisher,
and Cobra Kai. You got to come on for Cobra Kai.
I would love.
You got to come. You got to come to me.
Yeah, I will meet you there with my crew.
Oh no. We're gonna mess up a house in Reseda. Is that what we're doing?
Basically, yeah.
Andy, Kareem has a dance crew. He's all over. He's
different
side
of
it. Yeah, different type of crew.
I don't know. Is that what they get up to out there on the East Coast?
Just dance crews left and right.
Just dance offs everywhere. I've never understood Florida rap more than I do right now.
Well, that unlike a West Coast party, because the West Coast party don't stop. An East Coast party just has
You've just ruined it.
bedtime.
You just ruined it, Ken.
They have a bedtime.
If I could turn off your mic, I would. I'm going to mute you somehow.
Hold on. Actually, you can. You're a co-host. Shut him down right now. Excellent. No, but yeah, Kareem's constantly serving fools up.
Me and my crew.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
We work kind of as a family.
Oh. Nothing's more important than family.